Chocks and Chocettes in between. Roberto here for another video review. This time with the new Oreo Twists vanilla and caramel flavour Oreos. Yes, look at that. So very exciting looking, really. I think you'd say. Really nice sort of design and filling there. Quite an interesting one and a good take on the Oreo biscuit, really. And as I say, I've reviewed the ones previously. It's basically the same but with raspberry. You can see there. You know, I would bring up the packet, but it's basically opened and it might just go everywhere. So you can see not a perfect sort of half and half. You have been splodged on top of it, but don't quite look as perfect as it would. As well, I'm sure these will be the same. Won't quite look as perfect when opened as they do on the front, but nonetheless, a nice look to them. I don't know if I'll try and lift up the packet, but it might end not very well. So, spilling everywhere. Here we go. Yeah, so just opened. There you go. Oreo Twists. There we go. So yeah, check out that review as well if you've not watched it already. Also had a look at the Italian versions as well, which is basically the same. I got back from the holiday yesterday thinking they were an Italian exclusive or something, but turns out they're not. Not labelled as Oreo Twists in Italy, just as like a limited edition. I don't know, for singing friends or something like that, whatever it's called. Some kind of pop idol affair, I guess. Or X Factor, or whatever it is. Don't know what it's called nowadays. Do those even exist anymore? I don't even know. No idea. Anyway. Right, so there we go. So, right, Oreo Twists. There we are. Yeah, so very interesting look to these. And I think I mentioned also in the raspberry and vanilla one as well, the fact that Vittis did a digestive twist a few years back. It was just basically a digestive with chocolate chip. And it was just the lamest attempt at a twist on the biscuit I've ever seen. And you could argue it's still a twist because it's something different, but for me, really poor attempt at adding some pizzazz to a relatively mundane biscuit. Although technically you could argue that the milk chocolate digestive is already a digestive twist, so, so I don't know. Strange. I think it was basically just a chocolate chip digestive. That's all it was. Whereas these ones, I do feel like it is actually a twist on the Oreo concept. You know what I mean? I think it is a pleasant look to it. It's got like this double cream filling that some Oreos do have. You can already get like a double Oreo, can't you? Obviously, half of it this time is caramel flavoured. So yeah, interesting. All right. So yeah. So what's it say on it? Anything? So we've got the actual description here. So let's see. Cocoa sandwich biscuits with vanilla flavour and caramel flavour filling, 45%. It's got another thing down there, 3.3% for fat reduced cocoa powder. It does have palm oil in as well, as you can see there. Make it say milk. Yep, okay. 11 in a pack. Some 157 grams there. Got some nutrition information there, we'll come to that in a second. 157 grams there. And here we go, here's the nutrition stuff. So yeah, so per 100 grams, 496 calories, 23 grams of fat, 7.6 of which are saturates. And then per Oreo biscuit, 40.2 grams, 70 calories, 3.3 grams of fat, 1.1 of which are saturates. Yes, there we go. There we are. So caramelised sugar it's got in this one. Presumably the flavouring. So have a look at that's the raspberry ones again. Yes, here we go. So we've got the information there. Got the nutrition information there. So it's got beet juice concentrate, this one instead, by the looks of it. And perhaps some other things, but see beet juice concentrate there. And calories, if we can remember. We'll do it per 100 grams. 493, 22, 7.3. 493, 22, 7.3. 493, 22, 7.3. So slightly more in this one, so 496. So 3 calories more and 23 grams of fat, so 1 gram more, and 0.3 of which more are saturates. But yes, they're not quite exactly the same for nutritional information, but very similar as you would imagine would be. Okay, so right, so what else have I got to say? I don't think there's much more to say. Got the sort of Nestle, got the sort of cocoa plan which Cadbury are part of, being part of Mondelez. We make our cookies with cocoa sourced through the Cocoa Life Sustainability Programme, cocolife.org. Yes, I'd always look into that if that's of any concern to you, because sustainability I found that seems to be a bit sort of, I don't know, not the definition of it is not always the same, and just to what degree it's sustainable is open to debate, I would say, as well. So I would always check that out and see what they actually mean by it. Okay. Right, so let's have a look. So yes, food for vegetarians, I think it says there. Throw it in the bin, doesn't look like it's recycled. If it is, some small print about it with that 7 another thing there, but it does have a throw in the bin sign there. Get in touch, you're not happy and stuff like that. Barcode, is that what it is? Store in a dry place, protect from heat, best before that date. Alright, well, I think we need to give these an open, so yeah, see what they look like. I assume very similar to the raspberry ones, but with obviously a caramel layer instead, but we'll find out. Give them an open. Okay then everyone, I'm going to give these Oreo twists, vanilla and caramel flavour Oreos an open. Yes, look very interesting these, don't they? Look very interesting indeed, so let's get into it. Yeah, so time recording I've done over 920 reviews, believe it or not, so if you like this video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel if not done already. Open these. The tour to come up, I'll link to place more other reviews, as well as some related ones, such as Oreo reviews and other biscuit reviews, stuff like that. So once you watch this, go check those out. Hopefully enjoy those too. Right, well there you go, yes, so let's see. Nice caramel smell coming from them as well, I must say. Not quite as vivid a colour as the raspberry ones, but we'll come to that in a second. Let's just check there's 11 in here. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yes. Alright, there we go. Here's what we're up against here, so let's see if the colour can calm down a bit and goes in okay, there we go. Yeah, it's quite an even spread actually of flavours here, a bit more so than any in the raspberry ones that I saw. Not too bad. Let's have a look. See, it fluctuates a bit, but not bad. Yeah, happy with that. Now here's the raspberry one, or a raspberry one. Seems to be a bit more haphazard. That one could just be my pack, of course, but the Italian one seems to be similar, I think. But nonetheless, I think it's just don't know. Probably works itself out. A little bit lopsided. Not quite as vivid as the raspberry ones, but still not too bad. But yeah, still look very interesting. Let's give them a quick. Let's say some of them seem to be almost spot on actually with the divide. That bottom one's a bit more very close. The top one as well, actually, yeah. So, does seem to be a bit more consistent with the partition on these ones, the caramel ones and the raspberry ones. So, all right. It just seems to be getting better and better as I look at them. Well, they seem to be. I keep feeling that's perfect almost. But yeah, so very good these ones. Well, there is one I think that's a bit more lopsided. This one here, but it's still not too bad. Yeah, no, happy with those. Well, let's give it a quick. Look at in more detail. I think let's just move them off to one side. I've got a couple here. So see now the raspberry ones. When I twisted them, they always twist off on the vanilla side. This one twists off on the other side, and a perfect twist as well. So these ones definitely seem to. I don't know the recipe. I don't know unless that was a fluke, but it's come off perfectly. If it will calm down the colour a bit, so you can see them, but possibly a bit better there. But yeah. Yeah. Nice. Just try another one to see if it was a fluke or not. That's just come off perfectly. Well, don't know what to make of that, but I think it's definitely seems to come off a lot better than the raspberry ones. As I say, they just seem to perfectly come off. So it's pretty good. That pretty good indeed. Try one more, see if it was. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, these are coming off perfectly. So obviously, raspberry one, the two layers are slightly. Don't gel together quite as well as these ones, I'm not sure, but interesting all the same. Yeah. Alright, so let's give it a bit of a measure then. So I can quite easily do the thickness of this. I think it's about 5mm, 4.8. And the diameter roughly, I don't know if I can get it perfectly centre, about 4.4 there. I think it's, yeah, I think it's about 4.5, the last one, raspberry ones, but it's 4.3 there. I think that's not quite perfect. About 4.4. So it does suggest perhaps maybe the other one was a bit of a fluke, because it did seem to say that seemed to imply that the thickness in the centre was the same thickness of the Oreo biscuits themselves. It appeared to be the case from looking at them. Let's just give this a because I think it's probably 1.58. Yeah. So I think it's I mean, basically the cream middle is probably a bit thicker. You can tell there as well. Just seems to be a millimetre or so thicker, really. And that, so yeah, just about very softly. Really do this accurate with the calipers. About 1.1 centimetres there. So yeah, about 1.1. So it's probably about 6mm, I think. A bit bigger. Might be able to measure with the ruler maybe, but it's still a bit difficult to be too accurate here. Yeah, 6 or 7mm, I think. Yeah, okay, so yeah, it's a bit thicker really. Alright, well, they look very interesting, these, don't they? But I think we need to give them a taste. So let's do it, let's give them a taste. Okay, then we'll give these Oreo Twists, vanilla and caramel flavour Oreos. I'm just about to see that, I'm trying to avoid spilling out the packet at the bottom where I've opened it. Yes, vanilla and caramel flavour Oreos, basically. And open, yes, they're very interesting, very much a twist on the regular Oreo, as you can see. Look very nice. And so there was a raspberry one as well, vanilla and raspberry, which I've reviewed, so go check that one out as well. See, a bit more vivid, the raspberry ones, which way is the right way up, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, a bit more of a vivid colour on those, but definitely, yeah, very nice indeed. Both look good pair. I would always say as well, by the way, that that thing you see on the adverts where they sort of twist the top off an Oreo and dip, let's see, I'll just, yeah. This one, I think they dip this side in milk, don't they? Would imagine so. It does really bring out the flavour of the cream centre actually, so I would recommend trying it because it really does add to the experience. It just really works very well actually. I think it probably would work very well with a lot of cream centred biscuits, particularly vanilla cream I think, so for sure anyway, but perhaps with all of them. But yeah, okay, let's give one a taste. Find if they're actually nice. As I say, nice caramel smell coming from them. It was not quite as vivid as the raspberry smell in both, so both in colour and in scent. It wasn't quite as vivid as the raspberry ones, but still not too bad. Yeah. All right. Well, let's give it a taste. Still very much a vanilla cream scent. So you can basically taste that more than anything. So it does imply to me either that the vanilla cream is stronger, or that there's still a kind of vanilla flavouring in the caramel layer. Well, unless you do get the caramel taste from it. Quite a subtle one. It's quite obviously a cream caramel flavour. You know, it's by which I mean, you know, it's like caramel flavoured. Well, you know, almost like caramel flavoured ice cream, but not quite as strong as that. But you know what I mean? It's not quite. It's obviously not actual caramel, if you know what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's obviously in the medium of cream, so it's you can detect that. It is apparent basically that it's not quite the same, but pretty good. Now we do have one here where we managed to split them half in half. So I'm just going to taste this caramel half. Here's the other bit, which is just the vanilla. So we can see what this actually tastes like without the actual vanilla part. Nice tooth imprint there. Take that to my dentist. But yeah, not bad, but it is quite subtle for sure. I mean, the raspberry one was relatively subtle, but this one, I feel that it doesn't quite pop as much as the raspberry one. So you do, yeah. It's still nice though. It's still nice, but it's got all the typical goodness of you know, an Oreo biscuit taste. So I do like that sort of dark chocolate biscuit, or cocoa biscuits they call it. I kind of refer to it as a dark chocolate biscuit. But, you know, I don't know if that's really true or not. But that's how I kind of refer to them as. I do like that a lot. I think the cream centre is nice. I do generally like Oreo biscuits, despite the fact that they've, you know, the brand's kind of been done to death in the UK with all these chocolate bars with Oreo cream inside and things like this. The actual Oreo biscuits I do like. The Oreo cream filled dairy milks and stuff like that have just not quite worked for me. Although the Oreo sandwich dairy milk was really nice, because it actually had mini Oreos in there, which are pretty much regular Oreos basically for all intents and purposes. That's a nice chocolatey biscuit with cream centre as well. I prefer if it was a chocolate cream, I think. But it was okay, the caramel. I think the caramel's not as good as the raspberry one basically. The raspberry one is just a bit more vivid. It looks nice. It has a better smell to it. A bit more, you know, it's a bit of an artificial smell to an extent, but it's there. It just feels a bit more raspberry like. It just pops a bit more in every way. The colour, the flavour, the smell, you know. But nonetheless, it's not too bad. The caramel one, it just doesn't seem to be quite as interesting as the raspberry one. So yeah, it's not too bad. Let's just try. Could we try both? What do you reckon? Could we do it? Try both ones. Maybe if we could somehow take the. There we go. Look at this. See if we can do that. So yes, we kind of got the top of the ultimate Oreo. So we've got the ultimate Oreo twist. Look at that. It's got the raspberry one here. It come off perfectly. So a bit of the cream missing, but we can accept that because we've got, you know, yeah. There you go. Look at this. Wow. Look at that. Look at that, yes. That's what we're talking about. It's like a Neapolitan one now almost, doesn't it? Almost. It's like caramel served chocolate. Yeah, okay, let's give this a go. Let's see. Interesting. So that strawberry flavour is quite strong. It's quite vivid, so it does dominate the whole experience really. So you lose a bit of the caramel taste really. Yeah, the caramel, it's very much more apparent that the caramel isn't a stronger flavour as the raspberry one. I mean, raspberry one there, I think there was too much cream in all that combination for. It tasted a bit too sickly, really. But yeah, it's definitely apparent that the raspberry one is a far stronger flavour. You know, you could argue that maybe, well, that's perhaps a bit too much, maybe, and you could say that maybe, but I don't know. I think just in that instance, there's just too much cream in the centre, really, and it came across that way. But let's try this dunked in a cup of coffee. So let's, I think that's a bit warm coffee. If I can. Okay. There's potential there for improvement, I think. There's potential there for this one. I think the caramel dunked in the hot drink does bring out the caramel a bit more. Try again. To an extent, it does. I feel like it does work better in there than the raspberry one for sure. So it's more appropriate to dunk it in a hot drink, I think, especially a coffee. But I wouldn't say it massively makes the flavours pop or anything like that, but it's still a nice experience, as most biscuits are once they're dunked in a hot drink. It almost always improves the experience for the most part. I mean, the raspberry one, again, a bit debatable because it does affect the, especially in a coffee, it does affect the raspberry taste, but you know what I mean. So these ones, not as good as the raspberry ones, just a bit more, less interesting, a bit less vivid in taste, smell, and in colour as well, really. But nonetheless, they are still nice. But I feel like the caramel kind of still tastes a bit too creamy. You're not distracted by the caramel flavour as much as you are with the raspberry flavour, and it means you're just really getting just more cream centre really, and it might be a bit too much, but it's not as bad as I'm making that sound, but that's kind of what you're getting. So, but maybe the fact that they're more subtle means that they're going to get a bit less sickly as quick as the raspberry ones. Maybe because they're a bit more subtle, they're not going to be not as much as the raspberry ones, so you're going to be able to eat more of them and not get sick of them as quickly maybe. So there is that, but as I say, maybe the fact it's just got too much cream in it might mean that happens anyway, just too much of a cream taste rather than something else. But interesting. I reckon regular Oreo, as I mentioned in the raspberry ones, probably a 3.5 to a 4. A 4 on a good day maybe, really. It's definitely sort of, lower end of a 4, higher end of a 3.5. I think these ones, again, very interesting, nice twist on the regular Oreos. I don't think they're as good as the raspberry ones, but I still think for me, a nice dark chocolate biscuit, or cocoa biscuit, however you want to say it. I call it dark chocolate, I think it's really nice. The cream sensors are nice. I think the caramel flavour, while quite subtle, is there, and it's still still present, still interesting, but it's definitely a caramel cream flavour rather than just direct caramel, if you know what I mean. Maybe nice if it was actually caramel on there, liquid caramel. I think that would be really nice, but there we go. Clearly the reason not done that is just because they've it's an Oreo biscuit, isn't it? They've stuck to the same formula, especially when they've already done the raspberry one. It's just the same range, just a different flavour, so I understand completely why I've not done it, but if it was real caramel, I think we'll be onto something very, very interesting then. But yeah, that's a nice cocoa biscuit, or dark chocolate biscuit. Really like that, really nice. Nice cream filling as well, nice caramel flavours. I'd say just a bit perhaps too creamy in itself, but still nice. I still think these are better than the original Oreos. I think they're interesting. So for me, not a massive improvement on them, not as good as the raspberry ones, but a nice twist on the Oreo biscuit. 4 out of 5. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Check out the YouTube member program. It's a great way to support the channel. You get some exclusive perks depending on what tier you pick. Check out the Discord server as well. Link for that's in the description. Great way to keep in touch with myself and the community. Check out these links that are pinned on the screen now, where click on a few of them look of interest to you. Great to help the channel out as well by continuing to watch the content. Leave a like, leave a comment as well. I always do my best to reply, and it's always great to hear from you. And finally, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching guys. Take care. Bye for now. See ya.